Hey everyone, it's Elizabeth, and today I'm gonna do my December book haul. This is including books that I got for Christmas. I have 30 books, including one magazine. I think this is my biggest haul so far, but I seriously have to go on a book buying ban from now on. Like, seriously, like, I have no more room, I don't have a job anymore. I need to stop. Like, seriously, I need to stop. And I have 2 books coming in the mail. Oh my god. I need to stop. I need to stop. Okay. I'm just gonna get right into it. Yeah. So I went to the library by my mom's work, because they had a audiobook that I couldn't find at any other library. So I went to that library and I found books 1 through 9 in the series of unfortunate events. These were $1 each, which is really exciting. I only read the first one when I was a kid, but I really liked it. And for some reason I just never picked up the rest of them, and I thought now would be a perfect time considering they were $1 each, so I got all of those for $9. Another book that I got at that library's bookstore, obviously those aren't library books, is A Discovery of Witches by Deborah Harkness. My aunt read this and she really loved it and she told me I should read it. I got the ebook of it, but like the formatting is weird and it's like a PDF, but like I can't change it, and the font is really tiny and the whole page doesn't fit on the screen of my tablet, so I just deleted it. And then this was, I think, $1.50, so I just got it. I also got Bossy Pants by Tina Fey at that bookstore, but I left it at Ben's house because he wanted to read it. Yeah, so he has that. And then next are some books that I ordered online. First is Anna Dressed in Blood by Kendra Blake. I've heard some really awesome things about this book. It sounds like something I'd really enjoy. I've always liked horror movies and Stephen King and like those scary stories to tell in the dark books with those like really grotesque drawings in them. I really loved those books as a kid. Yeah, and I love horror. And I'd been looking for this book for under like $5 for a really long time and I couldn't find it. And then I finally found it on, I think it was half.com for like $4.50. So I got it and I really can't wait to read it. It looks so awesome. Next is The Moon Opera by someone whose name I can't pronounce. By Fayu. It's about a opera singer who disfigures her understudy. It's like 20 years later or something, and like this rich guy wants to put the opera on again, but only if she will agree to be the main character. There's a horror movie called, I think it's called The Legend of the Portrait. It's a Korean movie. And it's about a woman who like poured acid on this woman's face. I think her husband was having an affair with her or something. And I thought it would be more like that. And like in the movie, the woman is like a ghost and she like haunts people and stuff like that. But this really, and I thought this book would, I already read this by the way. I thought this book would focus more on the whole disfigurement thing, but it just happened and then they didn't really mention it again. So that was kind of disappointing. I wasn't thrilled with this book, but I didn't hate it. Next is Shadow and Bone by Lee, I think it's Lee. Is it Lee or Lay? Bardugo. Yeah, this book just sounds really awesome. and I needed $5 more to get free shipping on Amazon when I was buying Christmas presents, so I got this. Yeah, but it just sounds really interesting, and Reagan at the Peruse Project, she really loves this book, so I decided to pick it up, and I've been looking for the sequel, but I haven't found one that's affordable yet. Next stack, these are books that I got at the thrift store by my apartment. The Girl Who Loved Tom Gordon by Stephen King. This is about a little girl who gets lost in the woods with a radio, and she's listening to a baseball game on the radio, and Tom Gordon is a baseball player. I haven't really heard much about this one. I think this is one of his lesser known books, so I decided to pick it up. Next is Drowning Ruth by Christina Schwartz. I believe, yeah, it's about a woman who drowns, and her family is kind of trying to figure out why, and how, and they're kind of revealing secrets as the narrative goes on. Sounds pretty interesting. Last is Shiver by Maggie Stiefvater. I hadn't really heard much about this book, but I saw it on Cat's shelf at Catty-tastic, like I saw it on the shelf behind her in her video. I read the first like 5 pages and I don't hate it yet, but it has not gotten very good reviews on Goodreads, so I'm kind of hesitant about this, but I mean it was $2, so whatever. Next are books I got from Goodwill. Today I got The Robber Bride by Margaret Atwood, because Margaret Atwood, and then a while ago I finally found Carrie by Stephen King. I'm really excited and I can't wait to reread this. The book is amazing, the movie is amazing. This is probably my favorite Stephen King. Next is Gilead by Marilyn Robinson. I don't actually know a lot about this book, but it won the Pulitzer Prize, and it's been on my Amazon recommendations for a while, so I thought it was a new book actually, but I think that's something else. Next, this one is pretty exciting, The Hangman's Daughter by Oscar Putz. Yeah, and I really wanted to read this, but then I was like, I wasn't sure if I wanted to start a whole nother series, and then I found the first one at Goodwill for $1, so I was like, screw it, I'm gonna read it anyway. Next is The Piano Teacher by Janice Y.K. Lee. I believe this is about, yeah, it's about World War II in Japan, and I believe it's about a white woman who comes to be a piano teacher, and I think she has an affair with the husband or something. Yeah, but I'm really interested in World War II, and I haven't really read much about the Japanese leg of it, so I thought this would be a really great read. Last from Goodwill is The Paris Wife by Paula McLean. This is about Hemingway's wife, and it's fictional, it's not a biography or anything, but I really love Hemingway, and anything related to the Lost Generation I'm all over it. So when I saw this at Goodwill, and it's in pretty good shape, I decided to snatch it up. This next stack are books that I got from a store called Second and Charles. I've heard, I looked to see if there was one close to me after another booktuber mentioned this store. I don't honestly know who it was, but there's one at the mall that I go to most frequently, so I decided to check them out. And one of the books that I found is House of the Scorpion by Nancy Farmer. This is another one that I've heard Reagan at Peruse Project talk about, and it sounds really interesting. These kids have their DNA spliced with the DNA of serial killers, and I'm kind of obsessed with serial killers. Really excited to find this for $3.50. And then I went there another day and they were having buy two get one free, so I got 3 books that day. The one I got for free is Thursday Next, First Among Sequels by Jasper Fforde. I thought, so the Air Affair series is 4 books, and then this series is right now 3 books, and I thought they were all the same series, but apparently there's like 20 years between the Air Affair series and this series. I mean, it's recurring characters. Thursday Next is still in it, so I'm gonna count it as the same series. Next is Attachments by Rimbaud Roel. When I heard the premise of this, I thought it sounded kind of meh, but then I read Eleanor and Park and I absolutely loved her writing, so I thought I would, so when I saw this there for like $5, I thought I would pick it up and read it anyway, even if the plot sounds a little lame, because I mean the story of Eleanor and Park was a lot more than I was expecting out of that synopsis too, so yeah, I'm looking forward to this now. Last from Second and Charles is Red Glove by Holly Black. They didn't have the other cover of this, but honestly I don't really care. I'm not really one, I don't really care if like the books in the series match. I mean, it's nice if they do, but I'm not gonna like pass up a $6 hardback just because the cover is not the same. These are books that I got for Christmas. First is The First Phone Call from Heaven by Mitch Albom. I really love Mitch Albom, even though, I mean, he's not exactly the most literary, but I'm a big fan of minimalism, and he's a very minimalist writer. I mean, like, his books are about like the afterlife and stuff. I mean, like the 5 People You Meet in Heaven, For One More Day, and this one, they're about the afterlife, but there's not a whole lot of actual religion in it. Mitch Albom is actually Jewish, so I really like that his books explore the afterlife without shoving religion down your throat. And he wrote a memoir type thing called Have a Little Faith, and I love that book. Yeah, so I'm really looking forward to reading this. Next is The Light Between Oceans by M.L. Stedman. This sounds like just an absolutely amazing story. This couple is living in a lighthouse and a boat washes up on shore with a dead man and a live baby inside, and they have to decide if they're going to keep the baby or turn her over so she can maybe go to like foster care or something. And that just sounds like an amazing and really unique premise, and I seriously can't wait to read this. Next is Where'd You Go Bernadette by Maria Semple. This sounds really quirky, and I've read so many good reviews on this. I checked it out from the library when it first came out, and I really wanted to read it, but I only had a week because it was a new release, and I was too busy and I couldn't get very far into it. So now that I own a copy, I'll finally be able to read it. Dance, Dance, Dance by Haruki Murakami. This is kind of considered like a sequel to A Wild Sheep Chase, but not really. There's kind of some debate on whether or not they're in the same series or not. But again, this just sounds like an amazing story, and I love Murakami, so this one is definitely a high priority to read in 2014. And I have The Interestings by Meg Wolitzer. I read The Uncoupling a couple weeks ago, and it wasn't the best, but I didn't hate it. It was a little pretentious, but this book seems to be a lot better than her other books. It's about some friends who, I believe they graduated high school in the 60s, and it's about them kind of growing up and becoming like middle-aged adults, and how their friendship has changed and how they change as people. And last, this isn't really a book, it's more of a magazine, but it's still really exciting. It's Jane Austen Knit. These are all Jane Austen inspired knitting patterns. I love to knit, and I love like Victorian style clothing and stuff like that, so I'm really hoping I can make some things from this book. I mean, there's a lot of shawls in here, but there's a couple sweaters. There's this adorable cottage looking teapot cover. Yeah, and there's just some really awesome patterns in here, and I can't wait to make something from here. That was my haul. It will hopefully be the last for a while. Let me know down below if you've read any of these books and what you thought about them. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. Don't forget to comment and subscribe, and we'll see you guys next time. Bye!